Hello, welcome back to another video looking at more items added with Cosmic Exploration in patch 7.51 to Oxessia, the new moon slash planet slash star, whatever you want to call this place. It's beautiful though, forest world. And this is from Cosmic Fortunes. Effectively, you need 1,000 of your Oxessia credits to spin the wheel, and you have a chance to get a variety of items. The green Oxessia credits then are obtained by doing your stellar missions, with the higher tier ones, obviously EX, providing you with more credits than something lower tier. And that's how you would get those. And you have a chance to get this, the Faces We Wear wraparound sunglasses. So let's go look at these and all of the variants. So then let's have a look at the wraparound sunglasses, a piece of undyed facewear then. So this is what the default color looks like. We also have the silver, gold, black, white, gray, red, blue, green, brass, purple, and the brown variant as well. The default is quite nice, actually. Let's actually trim away my character's hair to have a bit of a hairdo change so that we can actually see this better. So yeah, if we go for the shortest hairstyle, we probably can get away with. Of course, this is going to look a little bit better with different hairstyles. In my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of this one, but I like the extra details on these, like the little brass sections on both the middle, kind of like the bridge of the nose, and also on the sides there. And you'll see on the edge, on the end of each of the arms of the glasses, you also have a brass section as well, that if your character had regular ears, it would sit behind. Then, of course, we've got the silver variant, which has a lot of those emblems sort of replaced. Instead of being brass, they're silver. You'll see there's quite a nice sheen on the glasses. It is quite reflective. You can see a reflection of the dungeon in the background there. There's sort of like this weird sort of, it's almost like pixelated reflection. There are sections, look. I don't know if this is intentional, but there are like little sort of weird shapes, almost like smudges on the glass. I don't know what else that would be, kind of like a fractal design. But yeah, they are effectively mirrored glasses with metal sort of like details on the outside. And then we have the gold variant, which obviously has the gold details, and then a sort of like a dark brown kind of frame. And then the lenses themselves are quite dark brown as well, as you can see, with a much higher sort of reflection rate of the lighting there, making it look almost yellow with the reflections. Then we've got my personal favorite, which are the black ones, which have a little bit of a reflection, but they are a lot darker. And a lot of the light doesn't pass through that texture, but you can see some of the reflections. But those are quite nice as well, with that dark silver, almost gunmetal black sort of frame there as well. And there's the white variant as well, which is quite nice, actually. Again, with reflections, they are present, but obviously a lot of that light is being diffused because they are white themselves. But obviously on that angle, you can see a lot better. They're quite nice, honestly. They remind me of the sort of thing you would expect to see, kind of like a skiing goggles, that kind of thing, but as glasses. Much lighter metal, even on the frame and the arms there as well. I quite like those a lot. Then we've got the grey, which is silver frame and silver arms, silver details, and then solid black for the lenses themselves. Very much exactly the same lenses as the black variant. And then we have our RGB. So the red has the dark sort of brass or brown details and arms with that sort of red frame there, that metallic red, and then a much darker red for the lens itself. And likewise with the blue as well. So we've got that sort of lighter blue, that dark sort of navy blue for the arms and the frame itself, with the details being that brass. And then a much darker sort of almost nighttime sort of blue, you know, deep sort of sea blue. And then with the green, we've got that kind of almost, I would say that's like an apple green or an ochu green kind of frame with a much darker sort of meadow green lens. And then we've got those brass details as well on the arms and the bridge of the nose, etc. as well. These then are the brass variant, where we've not actually changed the color of the details by the looks of it. So we've got that sort of dark brass. The details like on the bridge of the nose and on the edge of the glass itself on the frame, slightly lighter. And then we've got this really dark brown for the lens, which is almost black, but it is a little bit brighter. Definitely a brown hue. For the lens, but very opaque, very dark, and you would probably imagine that just was black if you didn't compare them side by side. And then second to last, which is usually one of my favorites, the purple. So we've got that neon sort of purpley pink on the frame there with that metallic color. The design again is the brass color, which is quite surprising actually. I thought they would have gone for a dark sort of metallic or maybe a sort of gunmetal black. It does seem like some of the earlier forms of this, like the default color, etc., was a little bit more experimentative with the colors of metal, whereas we've got to the sort of it's just all brass details. It would have been nice. Maybe it would have been a better contrast, but sort of deep current purple lens as well. And finally, we got the brown variant, which typically in glasses, you have like a tortoiseshell effect on some glasses. As you can see here, that is not the case. It is this dark brown and metallic sort of brown on the frame as well as the arms. And then we've got the brass on the details on the bridge and on the edge of the actual frames as well, with this very dark brown, which I presume is the same brown as what we saw previously as well. They're not bad glasses, honestly, and the first thing that comes to mind is Nero. I don't know if that's the inspiration behind these. They are quite nice. It would be nice to see some other things, other face masks and things added, but of course there is always another pair of glasses that needs to be added to Facewear, so it's not really a surprise that we got more glasses this time around. As a little demonstration, I used a Fantasia to show you what it looks like on a few different races, and of course with different hairstyles as well. So those are the red ones with the brass there with nice gold colored hair, which I think looks pretty good. Definitely sort of running towards the Nero Tolskava kind of look-alike, or at least slightly if you squint a little bit. I thought it would be a really good idea as well to demonstrate, whilst we're using a Fantasia, to demonstrate what it does with horns, and for a lot of them it might clip through, but for certain types it sits on the top of them much like it would the ears of a hyena as well. So honestly, not too bad. I think they're quite fashionable, depending on the hair choice, of course, is depending on if you get clipping or not. But yeah, I quite like these personally. They're certainly not the worst looking glasses in the game, and you might dig them. They're definitely a unique shape, but I would love to see more face masks and things that would normally be half face coverings added to Facewear in the future. Let me know if you've got these ones yet. They seem to be fairly common, obviously from the spinning of a wheel, but we'll have to wait and see. But they should come down in price if you want to just purchase them from other people on the market board. Much love, more videos on the way from patch 7.51 onwards, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.